Good morning, Misfits! It is MAGA Monday on The Daily Breakdown. I am your host, Zach Bonfilio, aka The Misfit Patriot. Welcome, LFA family, Eileen Jimenez, Bumba, Sundancer, Lissa, the Hip Hop Patriot. There's Jeremy in the house, Kit Kat Mar, Miss Mocha Power, Great Guy Gary, Star Spangled Savage. Alrighty, it's gonna be a good show. It's gonna be a good show, all right? Because I told you so. It's always a good day to say "I told you so," right? It's the best day, in fact, when you get to say "I told you so." All right? I have been. Look, Andrew Tate and his brother have been arrested. This was inevitable. This was going to happen. Anybody telling you it's part of the Matrix or anything like that, they're an idiot. Okay. The bottom line is these are bad guys. These are criminals. They were able to sort of elude accountability for quite a long time by essentially making connections, right? And this is the problem. This is corruption. This isn't the fact that the system is corrupt so it's going after them. This is the fact that the system is corrupt so it protected them. And that's bad, right? These guys have a lot of money, and I think they used it to, infiltrate their way into circles of people. And they're also very clever, especially Andrew Tate. I think he used his intellect, which is you got to know thy enemy. You got to give him some credit for being able to manipulate, right? That's the whole thing. That's kind of why they're going to jail. They're manipulators. They manipulated women into working as sex slaves for them, and then they manipulated people into thinking that they weren't sex trafficking pedophiles, pimps, everything, in my opinion. All right. I'm being sued by Andrew Tate. I don't know if anybody knows that. The P1s probably do. Because of that statement. And hey, you know what? You sue me. Here's the deal. I'm gonna give you guys everything. I'm gonna do it in one episode because I spent months and months warning MAGA about this last year. I went very hard and then I just let it go, right? Because I figured I'll just wait for this. But we're gonna put it all into one episode. We're not gonna do the clout chasing and grifting off of it. I think I can give you guys one solid episode. Yeah, sure, I'll tweet about it a little bit, but it's not going to be like last year because there's no point. There's no point. Bongino Report has rated the stream. Big thank you to Bongino Report. I believe that's probably Vince. Thank you, Vince. Now, here's the deal. Like I said, the Tate brothers are suing me. Right? But this isn't about me, so I'm not really going to dwell on that and spend too much time on that too much. But I'm going to show you why. All right. Now, this is going to be a big chunk of the show, but we also do have the daily breakdown. We have Maha Monday, right? The theme of the day. You can see it right here above this little bald beauty's head right there in his lovely outfit. He should have got arrested by the fashion police, if anything. Which means we will be covering the Maha Minute. Oh, wait, where'd it go? There we go. We'll cover the Maha Minute. And we also have the Daily Breakdown. The Daily Breakdown is essentially when I go on the internet, I type in the word news. You see it right there. And whatever pops up, we'll break it down. Okay, there's soccer. Gotta love that. Thank God that's over. Spain won. I don't care. All right. Remember the Alamo. No, so look, I actually am very glad that we held the World Cup here. Okay, it brought in a ton of tourism. It brought in a red pill for Europe. In fact, right? There was so many Europeans that came over here and started making social media videos talking about how America's actually not this evil racist society that our media lied to us about. Right? So, that's good. That's a good thing. However, I also hate soccer. It's the dumbest sport ever. It's literally the dumbest sport ever. It's zero. You score that ends in a tie. Get out of here. But anyway, I guess Spain won. They beat Argentina. I didn't care. I didn't care who won. Didn't care if U.S. won. I mean, I would have loved to see the U.S. win because of, obviously. But yeah, Spain. All right. If you guys love this stuff, great. Good for you. I don't. It's my show. So it's not a soccer show. It's not a sports show. So I don't get too mad and be like, I'm not following you anymore. I just don't like soccer. All right. I played it when I was a kid, and then I grew out of it when I was like 9 tops. But anyway, Spain passed Argentina in every metric. Cool. Argentina failed to spoil Spain's party. Yep. Disgusting behavior. Okay. Everybody good with this? We're good? Good. We're good. We're good. We got a lot to get to, so it's not a sports show. All right. Next up from The Guardian. The Guardian, let's see here. Oh, is Bongino report in the chat? Are they actually? Well, let's see here. I wonder if Bongino report said something. No, they just rated. Thank you again, by the way, for rating. Welcome, Bongino. I thought somebody was replying to maybe Vince, so I was just gonna pop in and say what's up, but looks like they're just tagging him. Okay, back to it. Okay, the U.S. Iran, 2 soldiers have died. That's bad, right? It's very bad. And look, I talked about this. Carl Higbee, from Newsmax, right? He made a good point. He's like, you know how many soldiers die you know how many, service members die in training accidents and what have you. Also, as a Navy SEAL, he kind of was like, look, this is what we sign up for. Protecting the country is not something that you're guaranteed to, survive. And I think it's tragic and terrible that 2 soldiers are lost, but this is what they're doing, and this is what we need to do. Iran is a threat to the world. It's a threat to America, but it's a threat to the world. Them having a nuclear weapon, obtaining a nuclear weapon, and once we all, well, not we all, but people like me, people of my worldview, saw the initiation of Trump just saying, look, no other president has done it. We're going to do it. This was always a possibility. I think that it would have been naive to say not a single soldier has died. Right? And it's terrible. It's tragic. However, how many of them did we kill? Way more than 2. As far as winning the war goes, we are winning. And we are hammering them right now. I think for the 9th straight night. I got the TV on right now. And the videos of us just decimating them. I think Trump's just done. I think he's just done with the, he went diplomacy, 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 bomb. Diplomacy, 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 bomb, bomb, diplomacy, diplomacy. And now he's just like, you know what? How about we just do bombs? And I think that, hindsight's 2020, and you can, play Monday morning quarterback and what have you. But look, I actually kind of respect him a little bit for trying. I think it was naive. I think it was very naive of Trump to think that he could be the one who could finally successfully negotiate with terrorists. But Obama opened that door, not Trump. Got to remember, Obama was the one that broke the long-standing tradition of the United States of America. Don't negotiate with terrorists. And Obama dropped off pallets of billions of dollars in cash on a tarmac. And then they started again, you open the door, the floodgates open. Now it's about how, let's remove sanctions. Let's give them money. Let's trade with them. Let's do this. Nah, dude, bomb them. I'm not a big fan of Bush. I'm not a big fan of the neocon ideology per se, but I have, since September 11th, 2001, always, never, ever changed. I am not a flip-flopper on this at all. I have never flipped. I have never flopped. I have never nothing. My mentality has been bomb them. Always. not a forever war. I think it was stupid to get into the forever war of, let's go boots on the grounds. I don't like boots on the ground. Boots on the ground seems like a really dumb idea, right? But bombs on the ground sounds really fun. If you think that makes me a bad person, good. F you. I don't care. All right. You want peace, prepare for war. That's the old saying. Okay. Now, let's get to this. Let's get to this story. We're going to spend a good chunk of the show on this, right? Because I stated a long time ago, right? I stated a long time ago that Andrew Tate's the biggest mistake MAGA can make, right? I sounded the alarm very early because of what I told you earlier, where I think that this guy was trying to infiltrate MAGA. I don't think that it worked. I think that he made a few connections. I mean, he was on Benny Johnson with Alina Habba. He's got Rick Grinnell coming out and saying that they supports them. JD Vance is following him on social media. That doesn't mean anything, by the way. I follow people. I don't know who they are. I follow bad people. I follow people I disagree with. Following somebody, that doesn't mean that you're supporting somebody, okay? There's a difference between a supporter and a follower. If JD Vance was subscribing to him, maybe that would be different, but let's not jump to conclusions. JD Vance has been kicked enough. All right, calm down. I don't love JD Vance. I don't hate JD Vance, but he gets a lot of flack. All right, he seems like he's a punching bag right now, and I don't feel like jumping on. All right, sue me, like these two. But I said that this was the biggest mistake MAGA can make for a reason, right? Because I knew this was going to happen one way or another, no matter what. This day was coming. Because unlike some morons on the internet, I actually did this thing called research, right? I went and looked all this up. I used to be a fan of these guys, all right? Short-lived, what have you, but, I was just like most other people. I saw the videos of him being like, go to the gym, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds good, right? Make money, yes. Yes, Andrew Tate, tell me more. So I saw the videos of being by the Matrix, and I go, well, Donald Trump was attacked by a weaponized justice system, so maybe he's got a point. And then, right, my followers were like, hey, you know what, dude? You might be wrong about this, right? And what have I told you many times? I, unlike some people on the internet, can be wrong. I can definitely change my opinion, change my beliefs. I can change my views. I can do that. It's not hard. I'm not dug in. I go, let's see what everybody's talking about. And whoa, what I found was these guys are demons. All right. So let's get to this news article. Then I'll get to my research. Okay. From the BBC. Tate brothers arrested in U.S. as further U.K. charges take total to 59. That's a lot. Controversial influencer Andrew Tate and his brother have been arrested in the U.S. after British authorities issued 38 new charges against the pair. The UK's Crown Prosecution Service said Andrew is being charged with 7 further counts of rape. It's a big one. As well as charges related to sex trafficking and indecent images of a child. If that's true, innocent till proven guilty. Yeah. If that's true, though, you guys want to hitch your wagon to it. Look, there's a reason why they made that fake screenshot of Grok, right? The Grok hallucination. People have claimed falsely that I was arrested for child pornography, right? It's completely untrue. It takes 2 minutes of research to debunk, right? First of all, there's literal case numbers that you can go plug into the system, and you could be like, nope, he doesn't have a criminal record of that. I've never been arrested. I've never been charged. I was posting all over the internet on the dates that it said that it happened. But there's a reason why people threw it at me, right? They are scared of me. I'm effective, okay? What they do is they go, I don't care if anybody proves it. I just want to get enough people to believe it, right? I'm not going to do to Andrew Tate what Andrew Tate's followers did to me and say that he definitely 100%, right, has child pornography. But he definitely was arrested for it. And apparently they think that's enough to smear me, and I wasn't even arrested for it. Andrew Tate was arrested for child porn. That's a fact. That is now a fact. Andrew Tate was arrested for child porn. That's a fact. So, if Andrew Tate was definitely arrested for child porn, it wasn't a grok hallucination, it's not fake news. If he was arrested for child porn, is it possible that they have evidence to back it up? Is it possible that they have evidence that they can back up for why they arrested Andrew Tate for child porn? Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Tristan's charges include 2 counts of rape, 3 counts of arraigning, facilitating, trafficking for sexual exploitation. Total charges against the brothers is 59. By the way, guys, these are just words, okay? All of this that you're looking at right here on the screen, this BBC article, these are just words. I'm going to show you way more than words. All right? I'm going to show you videos of them admitting and doing things. Now, speaking of, there was a very good reason why I was trying to go after Andrew Tate so hard, and it's because I was like, okay, I think I see what he's doing, right? He's trying to latch on to Trump. He's trying to trauma bond with Trump supporters who know that there was a weaponized government against Trump where they threw felonies at him, they arrested him, they took his mugshot, and Trump didn't do anything. Whether you believe that or not, he didn't, all right? He didn't. Trump didn't do anything. That was a weaponized, that was the, quote, the Matrix, right? That Andrew Tate likes to call it. That was the Matrix. The Matrix was after Trump. Tate, I think, was actually guilty, and he goes, okay, I'm going to connect myself to Trump. I'm going to tell my followers that I'm just like Trump. That way, people will assume that the same people that went after Trump are coming after me. And here's the thing. It worked a little bit, right? There was rumors that Barron Trump was a huge fan of Andrew Tate, right? Why do people believe that? There's no evidence of that, right? Rumors come from Andrew Tate's close associate, Justin Waller. Justin Waller is the guy in the video where Andrew Tate's getting arrested. He's like taking his chain off. The guy's a scumbag, right? He's a grifter and he's a liar. Why are you listening to him? Waller told the New York Times that Barron admired Tate, spoke with Tate over Zoom, and that Waller gave Barron dating advice. This could be true. Barron may have spoken to Waller at one point. Okay? Maybe not, though. But when Waller, a guy who's besties with sex traffickers and, talks about how you should lie to women, maybe you shouldn't take his advice and words as pure factual, since his words are, you should lie to people to get what you want. You think these people are literally teaching courses to young men on how to mislead women, but they won't mislead an audience? They're misleading women for money, so they're not going to mislead you for money? Come on, guys. Right? No, Justin is not a reliable source. The connection is overblown and based solely on the word of a tight jeans clown. Okay. How about Donald Trump Jr., right? Donald Trump Jr., there's a connection between Andrew Tate and Donald Trump Jr. It's in a picture. Look, there's a picture. They must be besties. Does anybody notice anything in this picture? Anyone? Does anyone notice? What do you notice about this picture? Right? Let's say, like, the fact that Andrew Tate has a full head of hair. Yeah. Andrew Tate has a full head of hair. Donald Trump Jr. looks a lot younger. A lot younger. Right? Okay. Innocent till proven. I see somebody in the chat say innocent till proven guilty. Innocent till proven guilty does not mean innocent, by the way. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Don't jump ahead. No, Andrew Tate admitted that he waited. He was like emailing Trump Jr.'s people years and years ago, like over a decade ago, and he waited. He flew in and waited for Donald Trump Jr. in a lobby just so he could take this picture. And then he admitted he did it so that he could start promoting himself as friends with Trump Jr. Are they associates? Do they probably have some type of loose connection? Have they probably met? Yeah. But these are not besties, right? The guy on the left is a grifter who is trying to do what Jeffrey Epstein did and tried to make connections with high-profile people. Some successful, some not. All right, next. This is why I was sounding the alarm, because these aren't just some small issues. This will hurt us. This is why I was telling you. I go, look, is he a scumbag? Yes, right? But I'm getting a bunch of morons who want to keep gaslighting and who want to keep saying, oh, like, don't do it. Like, look, guys, look, here's the deal. It's like, I personally don't want to jump the gun and say something like, oh, you know what? Yeah, we don't want to jump to conclusions, right? Like, nah, I don't want to do that, right? I don't want to dismiss the possibility of this being just completely, like, oh, they're actually innocent, and I jumped on board and I was wrong. No, I don't want to do that, right? But like, I saw it with my own eyes. When that happens, I'm perfectly comfortable with saying that these people did something that is really, really bad. All right. So let's run through the list, right? And again, this is not about the fact that there's a personal beef between me and them, right? This is always, everything I do, it's always about how to protect the movement, how to protect the country, how to move us forward, right? And again, I think that a lot of you are making a very big mistake by getting hooked into this whole, like, oh, I don't believe anything I see. I don't believe anything I see. I don't believe it. Right? You sound like Candace Owens. We don't know, but we know we know. I don't have evidence, but I think, I have feelings, I have vibes. I have evidence. Here's just a list of the charges, right? Now, you don't have to trust the UK government. I don't. You don't have to trust our government. I don't. Right? I do trust that whenever somebody's arrested, they're usually arrested for a reason. And if that reason is that they have evidence, I think you should be able to review the evidence. And if that evidence comes up and you can use your own discernment and critical thinking to validate its credibility, then yes, then you can start making decisions. So here's just the charges, the arrests, right? In the UK, we already went through this. There are 42 charges in total, 10 counts of compromise, 3 counts of rape, 4 counts of assault, occasioning actual bodily harm, 2 counts of human trafficking, 1 count of controlling prostitution for gain, etc., etc. In Romania, they were indicted over the allegations that they formed an organized criminal group and trafficked women. Broader Romania investigation examined alleged participation in organized criminal group, human trafficking, trafficking of minors, sexual intercourse with minors, and money laundering. And in the United States, the Miami arrest was not a newly announced American prosecution. The U.S. Marshals arrested the brothers on behalf of Britain because we have an extradition treaty, so that the extradition proceedings can begin. They have their own criminal investigation in Florida, and Andrew Tate is being sued by Bree Stern. Bree Stern was Andrew Tate's ex-girlfriend, and she went to the hospital with a concussion after they spent a night together, and she alleges that he choked her unconscious and beat her up, and she has some text messages, some medical reports to back up her claims, and she's suing him civilly, which I'm not sure why it's not criminal, but I think it has something to do with the fact that there's jurisdictional issues, what have you. There's also the meme coin thing. Andrew Tate is a crypto scammer. That's pretty much a fact. I watched his daddy coin where he rug pulled people. We're gonna skip over that. We don't really care. But here's the legal cases. Again, look, this is not one of those things where it's like Donald Trump, where he's running for president. So they're literally sloppily trying to stop him by throwing the book and throwing the lawfare at him. Nobody's trying to stop Andrew Tate from his Rumble podcast by throwing 3 different countries and all these cases together. The amount of stuff here, Andrew, you'd have to believe that Andrew Tate really is so important that they have to stop him, so that they would weaponize 3 different judicial systems against him over his words. No, that's not what's happening. All right, what's this last one? Legal charges. Yeah, so there's a lot of charges, okay? There's a lot of charges. Again, he should be arrested. Merely alone for that outfit. All right. Jeez. Okay, so now we're going to get into evidence. All right. This is not evidence in a court of law. Everyone in a court of law is innocent until proven guilty. You have this thing called the court of public opinion, where I get to tell you, using my First Amendment, what I think. And I think that Andrew Tate is guilty. Why do I think Andrew Tate is guilty? Because I saw him do it. What did I see him do? I saw him slapping around a 15-year-old girl with a belt. That was my first no-no, where I go, I'm not a fan of this guy. Screw this guy. Here's the video. Trigger warning.
Listen.
Okay, there he is, slapping around Vivian.
Hey, you stupid bitch. Or listen. Did I say the word listen?
All right, there he is, slapping her. There he is, whipping her with a belt.
Did I say listen? Did I say listen? No. Look at the camera. Listen. Did I say the word?
Okay, now, we're not going to spend too much time on that. You can see it's clear. He slapped around Vivian. How did they explain this away? It was consensual. All right? It's consensual. That's what they say. It was role-playing. That's what they say. Okay, let's not forget, Vivian's 15 in this video. That's proven. That's not my opinion. It's proven. She was born September 12th, 1997. This video was filmed in 2012. I have a calculator. If you have a calculator, you can do math and find out she's 15. But the law in Romania, I don't care. The law in the United States, the sex tourism law, I believe it was the 2003 or 1993 or 2003, the Bill Clinton, 2003, sorry. He wasn't president in 93. The Clinton sex tourism law means that an American citizen who is abroad cannot have sex with anyone under the age of 18 if they are a full-grown adult. So, regardless of the law in Romania, that's an adult American man slapping around a 15-year-old Romanian prostitute. And I don't think that we should jump on board with that. I don't think we should go with semantics. I don't think we should dismiss it. I don't think we should make excuses for it. I think we should condemn it. I don't care how based he is. Sound good? Okay. Proof.
Video was filmed in 2012. That would make the girl 14 or 15 years old, depending on when in 2012 it was filmed. Here is the translated statement from the woman's father, which Tristan says proves she's 18 or 19.
Guys, I haven't had my coffee yet, and somebody just pointed out, no, Clinton was president in 2003, and you're right. Wait, are you right? Now I'm so confused. Now I'm so confused. What is the? Hold on. I'm telling you guys, I don't know what it is about this morning, but it is it is a Monday. It is a Monday. All right. All right. Which president signed the sex tourism law? I'm so messed up. No, before that. What is it? What is it called? Oh my God. I don't know. I knew this. This is one of those things where it's like I knew this. I argued this. Clinton. Oh yeah. All right. 2003. Okay, sorry. So it was signed by President. The anti-trafficking law also addressed sex tourism. Was signed by President Bill Clinton in 2000 and signed by Bush in 2003, the Protect Act. Thank you. Jeez. Sorry. I need 3 of these coffees apparently today. The Protect Act. That's what I was looking for. I couldn't grab it out of my stupid head. The Protect Act, started by Bill Clinton and strengthened by Bush in 2003. All right. Forgive me for that one. Apparently, I need something stronger in this cup.
Here is the translated statement from the woman's father, which Tristan says proves she's 18 or 19 years old. It confirms that she was born in September of 1997. Andrew has confirmed numerous times that the video was filmed in 2012. That would make the girl 14 or 15 years old,
okay, so we got it?
Depending on when in 2012 it was filmed.
Yeah, so depending on when that video that I just showed you where he's slapping her around was filmed, she was either 14 or 15, right? Now, for those that are going to try to make an excuse for this, right, about Romanian law, it's different over there. Let's go to the dads first, or the men, real men. Let's go to the dads first, okay? If a 27-year-old man was smacking your daughter around, pimping her out on camera, hitting her with a belt, calling her, and you know, the HO word, right? Would you give a shit about the law? Or would you bury him? Right? I know what I'd do. All right, I know what I'd do. All right, so this whole, anybody who's making an excuse for a 27-year-old man pimping out a potentially 14-year-old girl because of semantics or legalese logistics, go ask them. If you have a daughter, imagine it's her, and make that argument. So, again, you guys want to know why I don't like Andrew Tate? That video is the one that did it, right? After that, I was like, okay, I'm in. Let's go look. All right, this is a 6-minute video. We're going to kick it up to 1.25 speed, and we're not going to watch the whole thing. But Nathan Livingstone has probably done the best work on this as far as putting together video documented, you know, just chronicling everything about the Tates. And if you're not watching these videos, and if you're not looking at this evidence, and if your arguments are solely based on ignorance, I can forgive you. If you're just ignorant, I can forgive you. But if you watch this stuff, if you do the research like I have, and then you're still making a defense from them, you're a demon. No forgiveness. You should be buried under the prison
OnlyFans is the best hustle in the world.
Are they accusing you of using violence or?
No. They're accusing me of using the Loverboy method, coercing them by being nice.
By the way, I bought this crap when he first said it. right? This is when I was still a fan. I was like, oh, and this is why people reached out to me and said, hey, you're wrong, right? Andrew Tate is a very smooth talker. He was like, no, I never hit anybody. It's just the lover boy method, this, that, and the other. He's lying. He's lying.
I don't mention webcam until after I've had sex with the girl. If you're on dates and you're trying to mention it and shit, it just doesn't work. It puts them off. I'd never do that. That's disgusting. I'm not a whore. It's just not gonna work. You continue as normal, no mention of webcam. You fuck the girl. After you fuck the girl, you do the PhD test. So yeah, on CobraTape.com I have my PhD program, and that is PhD is a pimp and hose degree that I'm.
Clever.
And
Clever.
that teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls.
Alright, so let's go back. Let's go to here. There's the video.
And they tried very hard. They didn't find any evidence of anything.
And I
Destruction. It's headed for destruction.
Here we go.
They're accusing me of 50 laws of the game. And one of the laws of the game is a hoe without instruction is headed for destruction. They're accusing me of using the lover boy method, coercing them by being nice.
Let me read you then what you have said about what you have done.
Sure.
Here we go.
You have said, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me to the point where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together.
I don't think that's what I personally said. I think
That's exactly what you said on your website.
No, I've never said that. So yeah, on CobraTape.com I have my PhD program.
So yeah, see, I mean, look, there's evidence. This could be a 3-hour podcast about this, right? But it's much simpler than that, right? It's much simpler. If you can catch somebody in one lie, right, they're a liar. If you can catch somebody in 2 lies, they're a pathological liar. Andrew Tate is a pathological liar, right? He's like Tucker Carlson. He's like Candace Owens. He's like any other grifter on the internet, right? He's lying, right? He's lying. I don't lie to you. I can be mistaken. That's perfectly fine. You can be mistaken, or you can be a liar, right? What's he lying about? That's the thing. He's lying about whether or not he actually did criminal acts. I have been able to prove the criminal act. He has lied about the criminal act. Therefore, I have come to the conclusion that he is guilty. Of each and every crime, I do not know. Can the UK be pumping up some of these charges? Absolutely. Right? But he's been running from these UK charges since 2012. He's gotten away with this for almost a decade and a half, right? We have an extradition treaty with the UK. They have a right to want him in their country to face charges because they have victims. He can go and do his due process in that legal system, in that judicial system. But we cannot say to the UK, we cannot say, hey, I know you want this guy, but you know he's a big Trump fan. So we're not going to, no. No, they have a legal extradition order. They have new charges. He's been able to cozy up to people in different governments in the UK, not in the UK government, in the Romanian government and the American government. He's been able to sort of make it seem like his Romanian charges were dismissed and they weren't. And he's been able to say, okay, the UK, it's all lawfare, it's all the Matrix, it's all this, it's all that. It's like, nah, dude. Nah. You have charges. Go deal with them. Russell Brand has charges in the UK too, right? Russell Brand is in America. He has to go and he flies to the UK and he faces his charges, right? Andrew Tate is trying to avoid his charges. I don't think Russell Brand's innocent either. That's just an opinion because of their connections, right? However, I'm not going to do what I'm doing with Andrew Tate and say he's guilty. Russell Brand, I'm just not sure if he's innocent. Andrew Tate's guilty of at least some of the charges based on the video evidence, based on the things that he himself has said
openly on camera.
That's how it goes. Slap, slap, grab, choke, shut up, bitch, sex. These are the basic moves of pimp.
Okay. Credit to Milk Bar TV for putting together that montage.
But Tate's entire defense is they're simply being persecuted by the Matrix for telling the truth. But the truth is that Tate's openly weaponize the legal system and intimidate their critics who speak out against them.
I don't need a reason. You're going to have to defend yourself, regardless. That's the thing about the American legal system. You cannot ignore it. I don't care. I will sue you for any and every reason forever. And you're going to have to hire lawyers and turn up forever. I'll do.
Now, I can attest to this from personal experience. Andrew Tate is suing me right now. I have lawyers. He keeps on delaying. He keeps on, what's it called? Refiling. He keeps on delaying. This has been going on for over a year and a half. My lawyers have filed motion to dismiss. They come back and they go, no, 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 we didn't file it this way. He's suing me out of Florida. I don't even live in Florida. He doesn't even have jurisdiction over me. It's called a slap suit, right? What Andrew Tate is describing in this video is if you call him out, if you criticize him, he will use his lawyers, Joseph McBride in Florida, to sue you. He will do it. He's doing it to me. He's doing it to me and about 15 other people, right? He doesn't realize that I'm connected to, buddy. I have lawyers who will defend me, and they're way better than your lawyers, buddy. And the difference between me and you is, right, I'm not gonna have to pay for it. So yeah, you messed up on that one. But that's as far as I'll go with, me. I don't want to make this about me. Okay. If he was found guilty over there, can't he be charged here too for the Clinton and Bush bill? In the chat, this is a great question. For the Protect Act, I don't know why we haven't prosecuted him for the Protect Act, right? But I can tell you what I think, right? It's not I don't think it's some nefarious thing, right? So this is what Carl Benji is asking. The Protect Act that was updated in 2003 under Bush, Clinton started the sex tourism bill. Then the so the Protect Act is what I was just talking about when I was a little bit confused before because coffee. Can Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate be prosecuted and charged here under the Protect Act? Yes. Why aren't they? Because we would have to get in line, right? That's what I think. I think it's the same reason why Erica Kirk hasn't sued Candace Owens yet, right? You got to get in line. I think that's kind of the reason. I think that it's not worth it, right? The Protect Act would also require a victim that you could maybe get on board with, and Vivian, the one that he's seen in the video slapping around, she went from, quote, victim to Ghislaine Maxwell. Now she's kind of like his partner, and a victim is still a victim, even if they don't know it. Right, so just because Vivian was 14 or 15 years old and sort of consented and he brainwashed her, now she's defending him, doesn't mean she's not a victim. It just means that she's brainwashed. Anyway, just wanted to answer that quick question. Okay. All right. Brian Cates, political columnist and pundit, he makes a very good point here, because what we're also seeing is a lot of hypocrisy in this on the right, right? The same people who screamed Epstein files, the same people who screamed about Muslim rape gangs, they're the ones that are defending Andrew Tate now. You can't be pissed off at the Muslim rape gangs in the UK and then turn around and give your white homeboy a pass when they do the same thing, all right? They were not only pulling in girls and grooming them for sex trade, they openly bragged about it on camera, filmed themselves slapping around underproducing cam girls, etc., etc. You can't come out and say, we care about sex trafficking, we care about Muslim rape gangs, and then get mad when they arrest a Muslim sex trafficker in the UK. You can't. You can say, not enough. You can say, yeah, okay, cool. Which is why I say, okay, cool. If they have 7 new victims in the UK for Andrew Tate, 249,993 to go. All right. The UK not prosecuting the other Muslims is not an argument for they shouldn't prosecute Andrew Tate. The other hypocrisy that I'm seeing is from Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is a big Andrew Tate fanboy, right? And he says it would be a national humiliation for the U.S. to extradite Andrew and Tristan Tate, 2 American citizens, over trumped-up Me Too charges. Well, here's what Nick Fuentes said about Andrew Tate before he was able to monetize them.
They're in the business of digital prostitution. That's their business. That's how they made their fortune. And so you can spin it however you want. You can like what they say. You can think they're funny. The laws should be rewritten. If the laws don't condemn them to jail, they should be changed so they are. Andrew and Tristan Tate should be put in jail for making porn.
Bro, Fuentes isn't even going the sex trafficker route. Fuentes used to think that they should just be in jail for porn. Before any evidence came out, what changed? Oh, Nick Fuentes is also a fraud. He's always been a fraud. He's just like Andrew Tate. He's a liar. Let's not forget, Nick Fuentes also said that he wants to marry a nice 16-year-old child bride when he makes it into his 30s. This kid sucks. Stop elevating this kid because he is able to successfully manipulate you with his two personas. Nick Fuentes knows exactly what he's doing. He's very clever. He goes one way, then he goes another way. He plays both sides. It's a clever way to do the internet. But when you see two sides, when you see these conflicting arguments, it doesn't mean Nick Fuentes grew and changed and actually realized. No, he's a grifter, and he's a piece of shit. This is just funny, right? Andrew Tate handing his phone off during this arrest, right? Here, it's funnier with this video. Again, follow Milk Bar TV. Type in the word Tate, just Tate. Type it into his little search box on his X page. Go do the research for yourself. And then tell me if you think we should still be defending these guys. But here, this is just funny.
I'm right here in Miami. Come get me, arrest me, perp walk me, put me on the news, tell everyone I'm a human trafficker. You think I'm not versed? You think I'm not ready? I'm a Navy SEAL in this shit. Come get me, raid my house, take my stuff. You think I sleep with a full phone full of evidence? You think I don't wipe my phone every night? You think I'm dumb? Come get me, arrest me.
Breaking. Andrew and Tristan Tate have been arrested in Miami.
Well, listen to what he said. You think I don't wipe my phone every night? Guys, do innocent people wipe their phone every night? Do you wipe your... How many people in the chat wipe their phone every night? Notice how he's handing his phone off to his security the second he gets arrested. The first thing that he thought of when he saw those handcuffs was, I gotta get this phone out of my pocket and I gotta hand it off to this guy because if they see what's on it, I'm in big trouble. That's what his thought process was. He's like, I'm being arrested. Ugh. Literally just get it out of here. Nobody wipes their phone every night unless there's stuff on the phone to wipe. Another hypocrite, Gary the retard. Or, I'm sorry, numbers guy.
God knows.
Gary the numbers guy. I thought, I'm sorry. That was total accident. I did this debate with Gary, the numbers guy.
I've had my issues with the tapes.
About,
but I'm going to make this.
Tate. All right. He's also defending Andrew Tate, saying that, we shouldn't arrest him.
You two are so afraid to let me answer a question because you have no argument on the merits, right? I would fucking destroy you if you shut the fuck up and let me answer.
Tyson, give him 2 minutes. Give him 2 minutes. I'm quiet.
Sorry about the language, but I don't know if you guys saw my episode the other day where I was talking about that kid and I go, you don't want to debate me. Because I debate different. This is how I debate.
Bro.
Okay, so yeah, the question was, right, what proof do I have that Andrew Tate is like guilty of rape, right? Andrew Tate is on camera admitting to having sex with 15-year-olds.
That's not rape.
A 15-year-old cannot consent.
That's statutory.
Statutory what?
Statutory. It's not the same thing as rape.
What comes after the word statutory?
You know damn well what comes, but it's not the same thing. But you can't even prove that. You can't even prove that.
So based on his own admission, he's guilty of statutory rape.
And
okay. Look, told you this last time, and you didn't listen, but I'll do it again just in case. You might want to consider the possibility that the charges have evidence to back up the charges. If you hitch your wagon to these guys, if you have a bunch of posts on your page, right? Your page. If you did not do your research, if you are just jumping on into some type of tribalistic, I saw a video of him where he was telling kids to go to the gym, and I said, hey, I don't need to look into anything about him. I saw what they did to Trump. I don't need to look into anything about him. I'm going to go full send, and I'm going to start defending a sex trafficking pedophile. Because I don't think he's a sex trafficking pedophile, because I didn't do my research. Those posts are going to be on your page. And who do you think it helps? If we're MAGA, if we're the right, if we're conservatives, if we're traditionalists, if we're Christians, if we're in this movement, and you're defending a Muslim sex trafficking pedophile, and it turns out he really is a Muslim sex trafficking pedophile, you defended that. That's what you did. I can pull that clip of Benny Johnson anytime I want, and I can dunk on him with it. And so can the left. Play smart. Shut up. Or do what I'm doing and maybe grow a spine and call out your own side when we have terrible people infiltrating it. Just a thought. 19 additional charges for offenses relating to indecent images of a child and extreme pornography. You son of a Benny. Benny Johnson praised this guy. Had Alina Habba, who worked in the Trump house at the time, the White House at the time, saying she was a big fan. How does that help us? It doesn't. Y'all want to see another dead body? This is Michael Franzines or whatever. I hate Piers Morgan. I didn't realize the one time I went on Piers Morgan, I didn't even know what Piers Morgan really was. I didn't realize that it was Jerry Springer. I was invited on last year because I called out Andrew Tate. It was my one and only appearance. But when I did do Piers Morgan that one time, I crushed. If the Me Too movement hadn't pushed
about OnlyFans, why don't they invite the guy that created OnlyFans? Because
you keep on bringing up the Me Too movement.
That's not right.
Just because the Me Too movement overcorrected with believe all women, it doesn't mean that we should start saying believe no women. There is very credible evidence against the Tates. Right, so you can't just say, "Oh, we don't." If your argument is that Andrew Tate comes out and claims, "All right, there are no victims," and then I go, "Hey, here's 5 victims." Andrew Tate is a liar. Okay, I am telling you there are victims. They have not recanted their statements, and you keep on running with this whole talking about there's no evidence. There's no evidence. All right, there is hundreds of thousands of pages of documents in the Romanian court case. I can send you a picture if you'd like. I've run through many of the court documents. Okay, so you've run through. There's photos of the Romanian court documents on a table, guys. There's evidence. Like there are stacks of documents, 10 inches thick, lined up in a row. There's evidence. Are they innocent until proven guilty? Yeah. Is everything on the pages of every one of those documents true? I don't know. Is there evidence? Yeah. Out of all of that evidence, you're gonna make a statement that says none of that's true. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that.
Let me ask you a question, Zach. You're so
because
familiar.
In Romania it takes years.
No, it's taken years because of a lack of evidence. That's
how long did the Trump? Hey, listen.
Look,
I'm not even going to play the rest of it because it's just a Trump thing. But I basically say, how long did the Trump case take? The Trump case took like a year and a half based on one accusation alone. The Romanian court case, the Romanian court system, it's very corrupt, by the way. They say it usually takes around between 2 to 6 years for a case of that, similar charges to go through. But then, like I just told you with the Tates, they're suing me for defamation with no evidence, right? They don't have any evidence of defamation. They're suing me, and it's been going on for over a year because they just keep filing. That's what they do. So the reason why their court cases take so long is because he spends money just getting continuance. They work the system. That's how they do it. They work the system so that they can delay, and they hope that something will happen in that interim. Right? And the UK finally said, you know what? We're tired of this. They're now throwing it in your face. They've been hiding in the corrupt Romanian system for over a decade, and now they keep flying back and forth to the US. We have an extradition treaty. Guys, go arrest them, send them here, and finally, the Trump DOJ went, you got a point. That's what happened. They are so corrupt in Romania. We can't be corrupt here. All right, quick. We got 2 minutes left, so we got to get to the Maha Minute. All right. Maha Monday means Maha Minute. Here's the Maha Minute for Maha Monday. And then Sean Farish is coming up next.
Maha had another crazy week, and somehow testosterone, heavy metals, and protein all made it to the group chat. Let's dive in. First up, the government is taking on the testosterone problem. That's right, this week the Department of War announced they will be screening testosterone levels annually for all service members 30 and older. Next up, heavy metals have no place on the dinner table. USDA, HHS, and EPA are teaming up to crack down on heavy metals and other contaminants in our food supply. Next up, COVID vaccine injury claims are getting another look. Secretary Kennedy is working to expand the list of recognized vaccine injuries, opening the door for more eligible Americans to receive compensation. And finally, Maha is putting more real nutrition on the table. Secretary Kennedy and Tony Robbins are working to expand access to high-protein foods for the 50 million Americans who rely on food banks. Because access to nutritious, protein-rich food shouldn't just be a luxury. I'm Caitlin Sinclair, and I'll see you same place next week for more Maha Wins.
All right, guys,
Maha
there it is. Maha
week,
Minute. That's Caitlin Sinclair. She's great. Go follow Maha Action. Sean Farish is coming up next. I hope we covered everything. You know, like I said, I know I spent a whole episode on Andrew Tate. I don't want to do this every week like I did before, so that's it. But if you watch this episode and you still have any questions after that, I can't help you, right? I laid out my case. Go do you, right? Alrighty, quick shout-outs. Eileen, one sec. I know Sean's going to be like, you're digging into my time, bro. All right, here we go. That's the updated one. Okay, great guy, Gary. By the way, again, thank you to all the people that came over from Bongino Report. Love to have you here. I see that a lot of you stayed. Most of you stayed, actually. Deb Paulin, Bumpy Johnson, One Sandman, Eden, great guy, Gary, Kimberly K, Octobro, Chica, Will Skip, Kittenhead, MDM, USMC, Kimberly K. There it is. It's 9 a.m. Sean Farish is coming up next with Ungoverned. Stick around, like, share, subscribe. LFA family, I will see you tomorrow for TDS Tuesday. Here comes Ungoverned.